Moving to Sarasota, most buyers make one big mistake. They're only focused on the purchase price. They're all excited about the location, but they're missing the big picture and the things that they need to take into consideration. It's insurance, taxes, housing costs, and that's what buyers miss. So in this video, I'm going to go through all of that. Because in Florida, the real cost of owning a home isn't what you pay at closing. It's what shows up month after month after you move in. I'm going to walk you through insurance, property taxes, housing costs, and expenses most buyers don't even think about when relocating to Sarasota, Florida. And using real world examples, not a fantasy number, I'll do my best to help you out. Let's ground this in a realistic scenario. Imagine a $750,000 resale home in Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota. About 2,000 square feet, one story, built in 2020, has 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, plus an office. It's got a shingle roof, a pool, the pool cage, sounds great, right? And a lake view. Ooh, this is a nice house, right? Very nice. It's only a few years old. This kind of home is the type of home that many relocation buyers are actually considering. And this is not an extreme example. Okay, so most buyers think in terms of the mortgage payment. They're focused on that. But in Florida, ownership costs is really made up of 6 parts. You've got your mortgage, you've got your property taxes, you've got insurance, HOA fees in most cases, not all, ongoing maintenance, and utilities. Not to mention, that pool guy, he's always showing up, got to take care of him. All right, so you miss one of those, and Sarasota can feel a lot more expensive than you planned. Property taxes are one of the first surprises for buyers moving to Florida. Your first year taxes are typically based off of what the previous seller was paying. And until you file for the homestead exemption, you're often paying at a non-homesteaded rate, unless, of course, the previous owner was homesteaded. I had someone that was a serviceman, a veteran, and his taxes were extremely low. In fact, he didn't pay any taxes because he had so many tax deductions for his home. And then when the new owners got the bill, well, it was quite a surprise. Yeah. So you need to consult with a tax attorney and possibly look at what your taxes might be, because I'm not a tax attorney, and realtors that tell you the numbers, well, they're only taking an estimate and they're not tax attorneys either. So they shouldn't be. They're not CPAs. Consult their CPA. All right. Well, good news is once you homestead, the future increases are going to be capped, which is going to help you stabilize your long-term home ownership and your home, stabilize your taxes. You'll know what you're going to be paying after the first year. The big mistake is not planning for that first year. Insurance is a large variable in Sarasota. It's actually difficult, and you really need to get a great insurance broker. I know a few, so the folks that work with me get that benefit. But insurance, it's one of the largest ones that buyers underestimate. Take 2 similar homes in the same area, and they can have very different insurance costs. For this home, the example that I gave you, the positives are clear. It's got newer construction. It's a newer home. It's got a newer roof. It's 1 story. It's inland. It's not on the coast. And so all these things are something that insurers prefer. But insurance in Florida still isn't cheap, and guessing is a mistake. The smart move is getting multiple insurance quotes before you remove contingencies, not after closing. Insurance isn't about finding the lowest number. It's about avoiding a bad surprise and making sure you know what to expect. You want to make sure that you have good coverage and that you've got a reputable insurance company that you're working with and that you're insured by. All right, let's talk about HOAs and community costs. In a master planned community or a community with an HOA fees are going to be part of the lifestyle. And what matters isn't just the amount, it's what's included. Now, HOA fees aren't necessarily the problem, unexpected ones are. And knowing what you're going to pay for, that's part of the process. And knowing what you're getting, that's part of the process too. All right, moving on. What other expenses are there? Well, there's pool and exterior maintenance costs, and people forget about those. Pools aren't expensive, but they're predictable. You can expect about $100 a month roughly 80 to 120, depending on the pool, maybe more if you've got a really luxurious pool. But that's just a monthly maintenance fee to have somebody come and take care of it. Weekly service, chemicals, occasional equipment, repairs are normal parts of Florida ownership and pool ownership. And so you're going to need to have a budget for that. And then you're going to add lawn care, pest control, irrigation, and exterior upkeep. And you're going to start to see your real monthly picture develop. So you need to budget a few things for that. You need to make sure you've got money set aside, not just for the mortgage, not just for the insurance, but also for the maintenance and the HOA dues. So, there are not deal breakers, but they've got to be budgeted. Everything's got to be budgeted. And then you've got your utilities and your lifestyle costs. And utilities in Florida depend less on the house and more on how you live. It's up to you on how you shut the lights off, how much water usage you have. If you've got a newer home, your air conditioning, ceiling height, insulation, and pool equipment are all going to matter, but they're all going to be better in terms of lower cost compared to an older home, typically. A less insulated home, a less well-built home, it's not going to save you money. An energy-efficient home, definitely going to be worthwhile. So you're trading off costs, getting a newer home, saving money on energy usually. Yeah. All right, so costs most buyers don't plan for: reserves. Yeah, because things break. They always break, and you've got to repair them. And you've got to maintain them. So smart homeowners think in reserves, not emergencies. You don't want to have an emergency plan. You want to have a reserve plan. You want to have, I plan on replacing my HVAC system in anywhere from 8 to 15 years, depending on the condition. HVAC systems, roofs, pool equipment, and appliances all wear out over time. And in Florida, roofs wear out a little faster. The climate is, the heat is really hard on the roofs. And you got to plan for those costs. You got to plan for those costs up front. And it's what keeps Sarasota affordable long term. When you know what your costs are and you budget for them, it's not a problem. Okay, well, I'm John Buttigieg, World One Home Group at KW Suncoast. I've helped so many buyers relocate to Sarasota. My team has helped so many people, and I can help you. We've got a lot of knowledge. We've got more things to offer that I can give you than I can give you here in a video. I mean, everything you've just heard comes from walking buyers through the process of buying a home, and from getting calls from them afterwards, and getting calls from our repeat and referral clients over the years. So, and from other realtors as well. We know everybody, and we heard it all. So the goal isn't here to scare you. It's to help you move once, not twice. Move into the right home first and not have to move to the second home because the first one was so bad. Yeah. If you're thinking about moving to Sarasota, I put together a relocation cost checklist to help you plan realistically. And if you send me a message, I can get that out to you. I've also got a relocation guide, and that's in the link to that is in the description for this video. And if you want help, like getting a sanity check on the cost for a specific home or neighborhood, just reach out. We can sit down and have a consultation and help you plan your relocation to Sarasota. All right, every situation is different, and that's exactly why this matters. Trying to create an exceptional experience for all of our customers, and anybody that needs some help, we're here for you. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Hope you'll watch my next video and about relocation. It'll link and it'll just stay right here. Come on. All right. Have a great day. Bye.